অসমৰ ভাৰপ্ৰাপ্ত মুখ্য সচিব শ্ৰীযুত পৱন কুমাৰ বৰঠাকুৰদেৱে May I now request Shri Pawan Kumar Borthakur, in charge Chief Secretary, Assam, to deliver this afternoon's introductory speech.
Honorable Chief Minister, Sir, my colleague Additional Chief Secretaries, Principal Chief Conservator of Forest, Director SIO NIC, my senior colleagues of IAS, ACS, IPS, Secretariat Service, Engineering Service, Judicial Department, heads of departments, and directors. Today, we have assembled here for a particular reason, which is related to launching of Sadbhawna project, which the government will launch on February 1. And in this regard, Honorable Minister desires to share his ideas and thoughts with us. This meeting is the second in the series. The first meeting was taken up with the junior and senior assistants and superintendents of Assam Secretariat, first batch. And today, we other senior officers are assembling here. Friends, the state government has undertaken an ambitious project to take decisive action and clear all old cases, meaning cases which has arose before 10th of May 2021 and close the files. This exercise is to be completed in a time-bound manner by 10th of May 2022. There are many old cases pertaining to various departments where no decision has been taken and the matter has been pending for years together. While such old files are gathering dust, the helpless citizens have to make several visits to the departments in pursuing their cases. Recently, an exercise was undertaken by Messrs. KPMG to understand why citizens come to the Janata Bhawan. At present, due to COVID, about 300 to 700 people visit the Janata Bhawan on a given day. This number is a conservative figure due to COVID pandemic. A feedback from these visitors revealed that the top few reasons for the visits are follow-up on old bills and files, commutation of pensions, provincialization of schools and colleges, employment and service-related matters. The top 5 departments attracting the visitors are education, 27%, PWD, 19%, pension and public grievances, 10%, irrigation, 5%, and social welfare, 4%. A one-time exercise to dispose all the cases, old cases, will bring the huge relief to the citizen. It will result in closing files and making space in the departments and drastically reduce the number of visits to the Janata Bhawan. The project Sadbhawna, the project will have 2 phases. In the first phase, a window of 2 months will be given to all the citizens for representation and quoting the file number or reference of government communication regarding the old cases. This can be done online in the government Sadbhawna portal. In the second phase, the departments will be given time till April 2022 to clear all the old cases and subsequently close the files. The government will use technology extensively in completing the exercise. The implementation of the project will be monitored by a dashboard. cases which is arisen after May 10th May 2021 will be taken up later on. So, considering this goal to give relief to the citizens, now concerted action from all the departments and particular attention and special interest from the heads of the departments and senior officers will be there to devote their personal time and also to guide the staff. So in this regard, today certain PowerPoint presentation will also be given, and NIC will also throw some light on how to move to e-office mode. So I don't want to make my speech longer. Things will be clearer through the PowerPoint presentations, and obviously we are waiting, we'll be waiting for guidance from our Honorable Chief Ministers. So all the best, friends. Thank you.
Shri Borthakur Saroloi dhonnobad gyapon korilu. As always, sir, you have very precisely set the tone for today's interactive session. Now I would like to request Shri Neeraj Verma, Principal Secretary to the Government of Assam, Personal, Home and Political Department, to familiarize all officers present here with the framework of Project Sadbhawna through a presentation.
Honorable Chief Minister, sir, respected Chief Secretary in charge, Borthakur, sir, respected PCCF, respected Additional Chief Secretaries on the dais, Principal Secretary GAD, SIO, NIC, senior officers and friend. It is my privilege to give a presentation on Project Sadbhawna. Honorable CM Sir has been the architect and the motivating force behind this concept. And as we will go through it, it has the vision of transforming the way we dispose of the files and we do the work at Secretariat. It is an attempt towards responsive government. Well, as has been highlighted by Chief Secretary in charge, the main reason for this concept was the study taken by Mrs. KPMG. But before that, I would like to share that this project plans to leverage learning from a very successful endeavor of the government, that is Mission Vasundhara, and it is also on the lines of similar exercise being done at the center and elsewhere. Although I must say that this project Sadbhawna is much more comprehensive and it has much wider in terms of planning and in terms of execution ambition to dispose of the files. It aims at solving old age secretariat related cases for citizens. And the problem for this was identified when this exercise was undertaken to understand why the citizens come to secretariat. While this exercise was done last year in the midst of COVID, even then we found that on an average 300 to 700 people visit the secretariat on a given day. And most of them come to follow up the old cases where decisions have been kept pending for years together. So this is a broad snapshot of the findings of the KPMG. As has been highlighted, top 3 departments are education, public works, and pension and public grievances at 27, 19, and 8% each. The various categories of respondents are government servants, contractors, teaching staff, general public, corporate, etc. The regions, top 5 regions are to follow up of bills, follow up on files, then commutation of loan, government loan, provincialization of a school, and employment-related inquiries. So these issues which have been identified is that based on citizen footfall, as has been brought out by KPMG, the number of old cases in Secretariat is estimated to be around 1 lakh files. But in addition to that, we got some input from NIC, and they told us that there are 1.86 lakhs of e-files, and out of which, if we look at non-active, and we can say that those files where it has not been put up in last 1 year, last 2 years, it has never been opened, can be taken as inactive files. So there are 61,000 such files. Similarly, there are a lot of physical files which have not been opened for years together. So this project aims at weeding out of those old files also. And apart from that, we want to clean up the workplace. And this can be done through simultaneous campaign of Swachh Bharat mission in the Secretariat. So this is a snapshot of Home and Political Department. If you look at the top left and middle, you'll find that the back side, this is very old looking files. It has not been opened many years together. And as a part of Project Sadbhawna, we would like to see this, classify it as per manual for reading the records, and then send it to the archives. So the proposed intervention is to empower the citizen by offering a one-time initiative to dispose of all the old cases. On completion of Project Sadbhawna, all the departments are supposed to have taken decisions on all old cases, and then they can start focusing on the current issues. It, at the end of the project, will result in closing of files and making a space in the department. Clearing of all old cases should drastically reduce the number of visits of citizens to the Secretariat. The citizens, to begin with, can access Sadbhawna application through Assam Right of Public Service portal. And this portal is very easy, mobile friendly, so the citizens can use it with convenience. The application process design, just a brief, because NIC is going to give a detailed presentation on that, but citizen can apply through RTPS portal. The application will be submitted to the department. And as far as citizens are concerned, they will get a unique identification number. They will get it through SMS and email, and they can track the progress of the file through this. They can also see whether the cases have been disposed of or not. As far as at top level, we will get a dashboard, and at the apex level, we can see how many applications have been received, how many have been disposed of, and how many are under process. So this is on the lines of Vasundhara, this has been conceived. Now the departments will get individually the files, and they can monitor that, and they can dispose of individually. So in the phase 1, a window of 2 months will be given to the citizens, which will start from 1st of Feb and till March 31st. They can apply through this project. They can quote either the file number or the reference of government communications, so that we can find out what are the old cases and take a decision on this regard. Then registration of government portal, that is Right to Public Service portal, or through public facilitation centers, and subsequently they can register and give the details. As far as departments are concerned, they will get 3 months, because we assume that departments will simultaneously start working, and from February 1st to April 31st, they'll complete this process of clearing all the old files, and subsequently they will close the files and send it to the archives if required. In the clearing of the files, due diligence will have to be done, and department would say either they can say affirmative or negative, but they will have to give explanation or some illustration of why they have taken this decision in due diligence. After decisions are taken, the files will be closed, and the whole exercise will be completed by 10th May 2022. This project will reduce the number of citizens visit to Secretariat. I would like to mention here that the idea for inviting directorates was that, as Honorable CM Sir had directed, that although the Secretariat will complete Project Sadbhawna Phase 1, that is closing of files, old files by 10th May, the directorate will start their part after 10th May. So weeding out of old records, I'll just mention brief that this simultaneous drive for weeding of old records, disposal of files, disposal of waste materials, return of books, disposal of e-wastes, these are all part of it, and weeding will have to be done as per manual of office procedure, where we will have to classify the files based on class 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The retention can be for the period of 1 year, 3 year, 8, 15, and permanently. But while we will see that many of the old files would have crossed the limit of retention, so that can be disposed of immediately. Preparing of files for records, after the files have been ordered to be closed and marked for records, they have to be categorized in different classes and sent to the record room. In this regard, there will not be, no loose papers should be sent to the record room. If there are loose papers, then that should be made in the form of a file and they should be sent. Similarly, unnecessary papers from the file can be removed and file can be sent to the record room. The department should have only active files and important retained files required for the reference. Because after this, we will have an e-office. So once we have an active files, from 10th May, we will start transacting in e-office files. So weeding of old files, important documents are to be digitized to the extent possible. Files weeded out should be shredded before disposal. Proper record to be maintained in the register regarding weeded out of files. Old dilapidated furniture like almirah are to be replaced by the new ones by GAD, and all departments to prepare documentation before the start of the project and after the completion of the project to see the impact. The key performance indicators for all of the departments would be that a percentage of citizen applications resolved, number and percentage of old files corresponding to citizen applications closed, number and percentage of old files on e-office closed, number and percentage of old physical files closed, the replacement of old almirahs, racks, etc. And finally, we will have a impact assessment where we would see that reduction of footfalls in the of in the department. So these are the immediate KPIs, but in the long term, we should be able to see whether the departments have migrated from a present system to services through portal, where it can, for example, in education, it can be HRMIS, for PWD, Contractor Management Information System, Public Request Management System, and for Pension and Public Grievance Kritagyata, and for all the departments, the services through RTPS. And finally, the transitioning from the present phase to e-office after the project. Thank you.
মাননীয় শ্ৰী বৰ্মা ছাৰে আমাৰ সকলো বিষয়াবৰ্গৰ উদ্দেশ্যে সামগ্ৰিক সদ্ভাৱনা প্ৰজেক্ট সুন্দৰভাৱে উপস্থাপন আৰু বিশ্লেষণ কৰিলে। তেখেতক মই আন্তৰিক ধন্যবাদ জ্ঞাপন কৰিছোঁ। In continuation with the presentations, I would like to invite Dr. Suchitra Pyarelal, State Informatics Officer, NIC Assam, to provide us a demonstration on the portal of Project Sadbhawna and the e-office system.
Honorable Chief Minister, respected Chief Secretary in charge, all dignitaries on the dais, officers present here, good afternoon. Project Sadbhawna is a project aimed for the disposal of pending files and towards a citizen-centric governance. The portal Sadbhawna, it offers a very simple layout for citizens to register and submit their application. The citizens will come through the Right to Public Services portal, RTPS. They will get a link on Sadbhawna from the day of the launch, that is February 1st. They'll see the link, and through that they will be able to submit their applications. The expected benefits through this for the citizen, the application would be, the citizens will be able to use a very simple and friendly interface form. As soon as they submit, they get an acknowledgement on their mobile with Sadbhawna prefixed to it. They will be able to track their status, the status of their application, and they can come through the mobile because this portal is mobile friendly. So these are the benefits for the citizens. For the departments, again, they will have a very user-friendly and easy-to-use interface through which they will be able to access the applications of Sadbhawna and dispose it. The dashboard will help them for the real-time monitoring of applications. The application is from the Right to Public Services portal, RTPS portal. The Sadbhawna link will be there. So once they click on that, they will get the form. The form will have the details of the citizen, details, but the most important is that they will have to enter their file number or a reference number or any other details which will help the department to track their files more effectively and take some decision. So the application form is very simple, but they have to enter the minimum details of the file and the reference number so that the case can be identified. Once they submit the application form, their OTP, they have to enter their SMS, their mobile number, reason being that is important for the security point of view. Once they enter the mobile number, they get an OTP as a verification. And once they enter the mobile, the OTP, they'll be able to start entering the form details. Once they complete the form with all the details and the file number, they are alerted whether it is all fine, and then they will be asked to submit. The moment they submit the form, they get the acknowledgement receipt that their request has been submitted to the department, and the unique number which they get it in their mobile, and it is prefixed with SDP. SDP is Sadbhawna. So a unique acknowledgement number is generated, and that is sent via SMS to their mobile numbers, because through this number they'll be able to track future, their case. So there is a track status which is again from the RTPS portal. Once they click on the track status, they'll be asked to give their mobile number. Based on their mobile number, their status of the file or the case which they have submitted, that will be obtained. So they will get what is the current status of their case, whether it is under process. So this is fetched from the back office. The back office is the department nodal officer who will be processing, and whatever stage the file or the case is, that will be visible to the citizen when they click on when they put the track status. So here, track status, they'll be able to see that it's under process and it is in the AR&T department. This is just a sample. So this is how they will be able to track their status. The department nodal officers, every department has got a CP Grams nodal officer. So this same nodal officer will be logging into the system, the department login. They all have their credentials. All departments, they've already identified nodal officers, so they'll log in through their department login. Once they log in, they will be able to see the cases with Sadbhawna very clearly identified because it has got the SDB prefix. And they click on it and they will update it as per the whatever the status is. So the moment they update it, at each point the citizen gets an alert. So they update the status of the application. This is in the department level processing happens of this application. So the nodal officer, through their dashboard, they'll get to see how many cases are there related to Sadbhawna, and they are able to have a view button, take the action or update the details, and that comes to the citizen. So this is a very simple workflow of Sadbhawna from the citizen and from the department. So Sadbhawna for ensuring speed, efficiency, and convenience for citizens. Once Sadbhawna is implemented, as already mentioned, in a period of 2 months, then the next step would be to initiate e-office. So I'll just go through e-office, a brief presentation on e-office. E-office, driving digital transformation in the government. As per the directive of Honorable Chief Minister, e-office is to be implemented by May 2023. Beginning soon after Sadbhawna is implemented, the e-office will be initiated in the government departments. E-office is for simplified, responsive, effective, transparent governance. It allows officers and employees to work from anywhere. There's no loss of data, saves paper and environment, saves time and manpower, huge cost savings for the government, increased accountability. The current status of e-office in the country, central government there are about 316 instances, in the state government 394, in all 710 instances of e-office in the country. In Assam, the file tracking system has been implemented in all the departments in the Secretariat. And recently, a few departments have initiated the electronic movement of e-office, which is the General Administration Department, Environment and Forest, Education, Irrigation, Public Enterprise, and ASTMA. The overall process of e-office is very simple. That is, the letter which comes in is diarized. It is entered into the system, and then the e-file is created. So this is how when you log in, the first screen which comes will have 3 main areas, which is the receipt, file, and the issue. So this is the inbox. The officer or whoever logs in with the user credentials sees the receipt section, the file section, and issue, and starts working. The receipt portion first, which is the first process generally in e-office, is that any inward point where the letter comes into the office, it could be the diarist or the central file section, or to the PA to the officer, wherever the letter comes in, the letter is scanned and it is diarized. So diarized in the sense on the scanned letter is put on the system, and the details of the letter is entered on the right side. So this is